Hello, it's me, Jamie. That's me. Okay. Hey y'all, I'm just down here to give y'all just a little piece, hey. Just give y'all a little piece of my thoughts on some things, okay? Not a whole lot, all right. Just over here browsing on It's On site. Just wanted to see what I want to chit chatty patty about on today. Now, when you come into this video, if you have not already liked it up, go ahead and like it up. You know what I'm saying? And you can hype it up too. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. All right. We are going to talk about a few things that I snagged over here for us to get into. So let us go ahead and get into it. So I came across this story over on It's On site, and it's regarding a groom that ended up dying months before the wedding took place. And this is really sad because this groom passed away and this family ended up spending money for a venue and all of that. And it looks like they may not be able to get their money back. But I want us to check out this news story first, and we'll chat about it. All right. So let us get into this over here. Let's see what's happening. Make sure I got my volume up.
Death before I do.
That's crazy.
After the sudden death of a groom, his devastated family is now battling a Durham wedding venue to get back more than $18,000 in deposits.
They're profiting off the death of my son, or our son.
Looking for help, the groom's parents called 5 on Your Side's Keely Arthur, who got to work, pressing for an explanation. It's a story that's only on WRAL.
Oh, why is it so zoomed in?
A young couple, full of life and full of plans.
They were on vacation in Italy when he proposed.
Back home, Chris Perry and Kristen Seidel booked the Cotton Room in Durham for an October 2025 wedding.
And they called us as soon as it was over, and we're just so excited.
But this past May, everything changed.
We are here to memorialize and tribute the life of Christopher William Perry.
Just one day before his 33rd birthday and 5 months before what should have been the happiest day of their lives, Chris collapsed and died. Kristen found him hours later. Too devastated to speak, Chris's parents are sharing their love story.
He adored her. He had found his the person to complete his trip to life.
Of course, now the wedding won't happen, but bills remain. By the time Chris died, Chris and Kristen had given the Cotton Room situated behind me more than $18,000 in food, drink, and rental fees. I reviewed the contract, and it said that money was non-refundable. Aware of this situation, the Cotton Room offered a partial refund if another couple rebooked, but said it would hold on to the $7,500 venue deposit no matter what, citing the fact that it had held the space for nearly a year. All of that was moot, though. It was never rebooked. The Cotton Room gave condolences, but not a dollar back of what Chris and Kristen had spent.
We can't figure out what they could have spent the money on, where the money would have gone. But they haven't done anything and they haven't earned this money yet.
So I asked the Cotton Room that very question. How is the money being used? Executive Director Michelle Aldridge explained those funds are tied to the commitment of the space, people, and resources leading up to the day.
From the wedding industry side, a lot of us are staying afloat on retainers right now.
Raleigh-based wedding planner Haynes Jones, who is not affiliated with Chris's family or the venue, said the industry is facing a slump after a post-pandemic boom.
I see both sides. At the end of the day, I do think the family at least deserved a partial refund.
For now, though, this is one dispute 5 on Your Side has yet to resolve. Despite emails and a Zoom call, Aldred and the Cotton Room have stuck to their decision.
No parent should ever have to experience the loss of a child, and having situations like the Cotton Room or what they've done or are doing just kind of keeps the wound open.
This is such a tough one. Now, the Cotton Room said it would not require the family pay the remaining 50% balance of this contract, which would have been due in just a few weeks leading up to the wedding.
It really is such a sad situation. Is there anything the family could have done to protect themselves?
I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but you can get something called event insurance. We know weddings cost almost as much as a car, or, it's a huge purchase. Yeah. So coming up tomorrow on WRAL News, I'm going to break down what that event insurance covers and how you can get a cheap policy.
Wow, really important information to know. Thank you, Keely.
Ooh, child, that's crazy. What do you guys think? Do you think the family deserves a full refund? Do you feel like the family deserves a partial refund? What are your thoughts? I'm conflicted. Some part of me is like, damn, they lost they lost their son, right? The fiance lost her fiance, and it's like, get them people all they damn 18K back. But at the same time, I'm watching this like, they about spent that money on like bills, really, for the damn venue. Okay, because how often is the venue really getting booked? So when that young lady ended up coming on the screen saying a lot of those venue businesses are staying afloat based on those retainers, like, she ain't lying. She is not lying. Okay. That money is very well gone, but I feel like at the minimum, if they cannot book the venue, because I feel like, okay, when it comes to the venue, if they cannot and this is what they probably should have did. I don't know. I got a lot of thoughts in my head. So with the venue being booked for the 7,500, y'all spent about 18,000, and then it's another 50%. So I guess another 18,000 or whatever y'all supposed to spend, which is crazy, even though they don't have to pay that anymore. Like, duh, they weren't gonna pay it anyway. But if they don't got no catering services, I feel like all the catering, whatever they paid for outside of the building, should definitely be given back to them. Anything, like, because now they paid you money for catering services that they're not going to utilize, but somebody else is likely going to benefit from. That's fucked up. Y'all done went ahead and spent that money and stuff. I think that family should at least get a good percentage back, at least for the catering, if not the building. Now, what they could have considered when they was having his service, his memorial service, they probably could have worked on something to where it's like, we're gonna do like a memorial or something at that particular location, since they're not gonna get married there. Maybe we could do something there in honor of our son, so we could feel like we actually utilize that for not getting the money back, right? But everybody ain't really thinking about that when they lose somebody, right? I feel like if they not gonna give you partial, take it to court, right? And you might win and you might not. I don't know. Always going to court is a 50-50 situation, because y'all signed that contract, or at least your son signed that contract. But I don't know. Maybe the parents paid for this wedding, right? So if the parents was paying for the wedding, maybe they did sign off on it. I don't know. I feel like they should get some money back, but the risk could be for the venue that if y'all don't get them something and try to work out something, they'll take you to court and they could potentially win, and y'all probably gonna have to owe them that 18K and then some. Okay, so they're refusing. So these people pay over 18K because they're saying they paid 18K. They pay 18K plus a damn deposit. Ooh, child. And they don't even get to use the venue, eat none of the food, touch the plates, the forks, none of that. Like, that's kind of messed up. That's messed up. That's messed up as hell. Like, get them folks their money. I also don't know if they need to start putting, like, when people sign in contracts for venues, making sure there's some type of clause in there that should one of the partners die, how much of a percentage they're going to receive back. Right. But this lady is saying that they have some type of venue insurance, which is going to be another expense to people, in hopes that the insurance company does not give you a runaround so that you can receive back whatever you're supposed to receive back from that venue. Or you can talk to the venue and say, should anything happen to people, to one of the to the bride or the groom, right? Can we work out something to where we get all our money back, or partial refund, or what? Okay, so maybe that could be potentially discussed, put into the contract before you even have to go out and secure some type of venue insurance. And then also with venue insurance, maybe it should be provided by the damn venue itself versus you having to go outside of the venue. I don't know, but it's a really sad situation. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts about it, and whether you feel like the venue should give them all their money back, if you feel like they should just get a portion back, or what is it that y'all thinking about that situation. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Okay, the next thing I want us to get into is this story with this David guy. Like, y'all, it's so damn confusing with this singer, with I think she was like 15 years old. Yes, the 15-year-old girl, what's Celeste. is her name. She was found in the trunk of his Tesla while he was out on tour. And people are wondering what the hell happened to her, right? They're wondering, did he have something to do with this? Did he unalive her? What has happened? Nobody really knows. I'm hearing so many different stories. He be bringing caskets to his concert. He has some weird language in some of his songs. His music is really dark. So people are believing that he did commit this crime. However, investigators have yet to arrest him. So they are not believing that he may have been the one to actually commit this crime. All right. They're saying that they are still trying to determine if a crime was even committed. That's weird. After the missing 15-year-old found wrapped in plastic, she ain't put herself in plastic and get inside of this damn Tesla. I would think she didn't do that. So for me, it's like, well, who did? Very confusing. But the guy has yet to be arrested. You got a lot of people on social media that's like, y'all need to go ahead and arrest this man because he did something. But I will say something's not sounding right. There was a cousin that came out saying, "Oh, well, the cousin alleged saying that this man met the girl when she was like 12 or something like that." And I don't know. I feel like if he's not found to have harmed her physically, I do question the dynamics of said friendship, right? With him being one age, her being another, out of the age range that she should be in, being with this guy. So it's just something that's not making sense. And knowing that she was found in the Tesla, videos and things appear to have been linking them to each other. At least that's what it appears. So I don't know how far the friendship went with the both of them, but it's just like really it's interesting. But let's check out what they're saying.
Proceeding cautiously as they investigate the death of a missing California teenager whose body was found in a car belonging to popular singer-songwriter David. How 15-year-old Celeste Rivas died and whether a crime was committed remain crucial questions that sources tell ABC News could take weeks, even months, to answer.
It's an ongoing investigation. We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion.
Rivas had been missing for a year and a half. The LA County medical examiner unable to determine a cause of death so far, now waiting on lab tests to come back. Her badly decomposed remains wrapped in plastic discovered inside the trunk of this black Tesla that had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke, who goes by the stage name David. The medical examiner revealing Rivas had a tattoo reading "shh" on her index finger. David has the same one. It's a popular design among performers. Investigators were seen searching the residence he was renting last week and allegedly removing a computer. The 20-year-old musician has not been named as a suspect.
In order for there to be a prosecution, law enforcement has to find some key pieces of information when it comes to a potential homicide. First, they actually need to figure out if it's a homicide or not. And the autopsy report will help give them that. Then they have to figure out the who and the how in order to bring charges.
And while a source close to the investigation says all promotion for David's new album has been put on pause, Billboard reporting streaming of his music has doubled since news of his possible connection to Rivas' death emerged. Some fans now pointing out disturbing images seen in his music videos like One More Dance, which shows a bloody David and a body being placed in a trunk.
After watching you go.
Recently, mourners gathered at a vigil for the California teen, authorities returning her body to her family this week.
Now, sources telling us they have the evidence that they need from her body. And while they wait on those lab results, again, the promotion for David's new album has stopped and the U.S. portion of his tour has been canceled.
This morning, detectives...
Okay, so this is real weird and freaky, y'all. I'm going to be real honest. I don't know if this guy truly committed this crime or not, because it's also making me think of Reasonable Doubt. Shout out to Reasonable Doubt that dropped last night. I got to catch up on the latest episode. But when I think about Reasonable Doubt and just some shows like it, I don't know. You know how, I mean, this may sound crazy. A lot of us are looking at this like, oh, he did it, he did it, he did it, he did it, he did it. I ain't gonna lie, I was falling down that lane too. Now I just don't know what the hell to think, because for the investigators to not have went ahead and locked him up, of course, they need to confirm further details. Yes, they're waiting for that to come back. We just gonna have to wait and see. We can all jump the gun and say he did it, then come to find out he didn't do it, and that he could potentially be being framed by some damn body that had access, right, to his vehicle, his vehicles, his cars and stuff, and understanding that they could be doing this investigation, knowing that it's only going to make him look bad because he does have a video out there where he is dragging the body, he is putting something in the trunk. This is how this girl was found. Da, 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 da. It's just real weird. I don't know what the hell to think about. Because as I think about a TV show, and I understand that's a TV show, that's a real life child, but as I think about the TV show and stuff and how we be thinking one person committed the crime and then kind of find out it's somebody else, like, I just don't know what the hell. I don't know. I don't know if this man did it or not. But hopefully these results and these details come back to find out. I'm sure they've gotten his DNA. From my understanding, it appears that from what I've heard, he's been pretty cooperative. Now, granted, that don't mean that, because a lot of people that's killed folks have been very cooperative with the police to make it seem like they weren't the killers, right? But this is a mess here. This is a mess here. Ooh, I need them to hurry up and find out what happened to that little girl, because that's very, 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 very sad, and it's very suspicious, and her entire story is very interesting to know that she like ran away from home more than one time. Then she's over here hanging out with this guy, and that's crazy to know your child. Girl, I just can't. It's a lot going on. Leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, honey. I gotta move on. It's just too much. Can we talk about the Braxtons real quick? The Braxtons are returning to WeTV, and I am going to play a little clip of their sneak peek that they dropped for the people. The ladies are sitting around the table. It seems like they're having conversation about their brother's daughter, Ashley Braxton, being a part of the upcoming season. With her being a part of the upcoming season, I think they kind of touch on how they are feeling about her being a part, or at least Tamar bringing her into the group with the allegations and things that she's made. And I am going to play a little piece of it, and then we're going to get into the audio more than anything, because WeTV be a little funny, okay? They be a little funny on their copyrights and stuff. So we're going to play a little snippet, all right, of that. So, and you know what? I'm just going to play the audio. That's what we'll do. We'll just play the audio.
You didn't want to film with us.
Well, you already know why I want to film with y'all.
Wait a minute, hold on.
My niece Ashley, who we love very much, posted her videos on social media with some accusations about her family. My family was a little surprised.
Well, there was a lot going on the internet.
Tamar announced that she would be interviewing our niece Ashley on Tamar's podcast. I didn't think it was a good idea.
I am getting Ashley here. You're not going to make me feel bad about that. I wanted her to come to a safe place to tell her story.
And all of this happened right before we started shooting season 2 of the Braxtons.
All of this happened right before we start filming season 2 of the Braxtons. It sure did, because I definitely covered it. And that girl not only came out and told us what happened to her, she also alluded to which aunt's husband it was that, was a bit inappropriate or whatever by liking that particular post, okay?
Next thing I know, y'all tried to shut down my entire
Don't
business.
say y'all.
Sending a cease and desist and shutting down my business.
Who sent that cease and desist? Now you got Miss Trina over here looking confused, like, girl, what the hell done happened? Now, I don't know if Trina sent anything or not, but she confused, like, girl, what? This is crazy here. And then Tawanda, like, don't say y'all. Don't say y'all. Don't say y'all. That's when Tamar turns to Toni Braxton. So are you sure it wasn't y'all? My question is, what did one of the sisters lead the charge on sending this cease and desist? Or did one of the sisters lead the charge in sending this cease and desist, but also on the behalf of all of y'all? So when Tawanda says don't say y'all, it just makes me question. And my question is, just because you did not send the cease and desist on behalf of y'all, if that's what happened, as in on behalf of y'all, doesn't mean that you were not in support of that cease and desist being sent either. So I don't know, but this is just, my thoughts on seeing this sneak peek. We have to see the whole episode. And I don't believe the new season drops until next year? Next month.
Exhibit B. The cease and desist. I got a cease and desist before Ashley was on my podcast. I didn't even say anything. I was not involved in any way, shape, or form of sending a cease and desist letter. My name was nowhere on it.
Okay, so Trina's saying her name was not on it, and she ain't have nothing to do with it.
Nobody wanted to come to my defense.
So you gonna sit there and say, Toni Braxton?
Toni Braxton, I got
Toni Braxton. No, Toni Braxton ain't never had your back.
I got Toni Braxton.
I want to know the record.
I want to be.
You want to say I don't have your back?
You didn't have my back when they.
With a heavyweight, don't with me, Tamar. Don't with Toni Braxton.
And then when Toni said we need to have her on the show, I told you we need to have Ashley on the show.
I ain't never say that.
Yes,
I never said that.
She's lying. Tell my mother. Don't swear your mother.
I said just show her the Chiglin circuit, and we shouldn't do it.
You said have her on the Braxton
This is
show.
not the forum.
You said that.
This is not the forum.
Baby, I have thoughts. I have thoughts. I have thoughts. Let's keep going.
You said that.
Don't you go there.
Don't you go there.
Nah.
So this is when Toni Braxton decides she finna stand up on Tamar, push the table, and put her hand in her face like, don't you fucking go there. Don't you? Okay?
What we were told is you didn't want to film with us.
Okay? So that's what's happening. Y'all, and this is my initial opinion of a sneak peek. We have not gotten the full story. We will get it at a later time. But for my personal, okay? Tamar Braxton often does fugazi things for the public, in my personal, okay? Tamar Braxton also likes to heighten situations to be bigger than what they actually are. In my personal, I believe everything Tamar Braxton is saying in that sit down. I think a lot of times because we may feel and see that Tamar is doing too much, we overlook Toni Braxton because of the icon that she is. But Toni Braxton has also come to the internet and played in our faces, but we don't drag or be on Toni Braxton's R's as much as we may with Tamar. Tamar may do too much, but she's not always the problem when it comes to them damn sisters. For real, in my personal life. She has her stuff, but she ain't the only one. And when I listened to Tawanda say to her, like, oh, you know, I heard that you didn't want to film with us. I probably wouldn't want to film with y'all either if y'all always making me the grunt of bullshit sometimes, right? Yeah, I can do too much. Yeah, I can admit that, but I'm not always the fucking problem. And I'm not finna come on this show and let y'all always think Tamar is the fucking issue and I'm always the damn problem. Like, I can't be the villain in every goddamn thing all the damn time, girl. So for me, I don't fault Tamar for like wanting to take a step back, right? The first season. I'm kind of glad that she did. So that things could play out the way that it did. We saw people for who they were and who they may have always been. So now we get to see you guys see y'all in a different way because now y'all don't have Tracy's son to lean on and all of that stuff. And he might make an appearance or two. But let's talk about some other stuff. Since y'all wanted to focus so much on y'all sister and this and that person, like, let's get into y'all for a little bit. Let's talk about what Ashley over here. Let's address that family wound. Okay? Let's talk about that. All right? And also with y'all understanding and knowing, I don't know how this is going to play out, y'all. I really don't. But with also Tamar admitting in an interview at one point that she's experienced something like that when she was younger by a family member. Ain't no telling whether y'all took her serious or didn't take her serious, right? Which is why she's probably so theatrical in the way that she overreacts to situations because she wants people to really believe her. Whatever it is, it may have contributed to her personality up until this damn point. Okay? So if y'all was trying to send her a cease and desist to silence Ashley from speaking any further, I can imagine what the hell y'all did when Tamar was trying to express to y'all what the fuck happened to her. But that's a different story, okay? However, getting back, I feel like Toni Braxton has played in people's faces when it came to that damn Birdman that she's married or not married to. Okay? It's very confusing, very weird, and I'm sure if we think hard and long enough, it's other shit that Toni Braxton has done, but she does not get half as much of the heat as a Tamar would get. Okay? In my personal. So when Tamar says, like, you said the cease and desist or whatever the case was, you told me let's have her on the show, you said don't have her on the show, whatever it was, I believe her. But again, that's my initial opinion. That could change as I see how the story continue to play out. But y'all let me know your thoughts about that because that's the vibe that I am getting. Okay. What's the next thing that I want us to get into? Laura Loomer, is you cool? Is you cool? Laura Loomer is one of the most weirdest people, is what I'll say. And she's just so like, and she can be attention seeking and everything, and she likes to provoke, and then as soon as somebody meet her where she at, she gonna play the victim, right? So Jasmine Crockett was on CNN, and it looks like she was speaking about some stuff, and Laura Loomer decides to come onto social media and pretty much say, it hurts my heart that we have a ghetto black bitch who hates America serving, and who hates America serving in Congress. And then it's the way that y'all like to go about flipping and switching things, and putting words in people's mouths, right? But when other folks insert and put what that man who just got killed, when they put his actual words on the screen, y'all cringe and get upset and be mad that people are showing his truth. Whereas y'all like to live and dwell in lies, okay? And twist words and everything, right? So let's play this clip.
One of the things I do want to point out that's not been laid out that honestly hurts my heart is when I saw the no votes, there were only 2 Caucasians. For the most part, the only people that voted no were people of color, because the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk continuously put out there was rhetoric that specifically targeted people of color. And so it is unfortunate that even our colleagues could not see how harmful his rhetoric was specifically to us. And you know what? One of the things I do want to point out,
I feel like a lot of those colleagues do see how harmful it is, and it's really sad because they rather, bend their knee, right? And it's really giving scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I'll overlook this and that in an effort to stay in the good graces of whoever I need to stay in the good graces with. So it's just in shambles, okay? It's just in shambles over there. All right. So this lady decides to come down to social media to call her a ghetto black BIT. Then she goes over to her social media, continues to at Jasmine, and says Jasmine Crockett's homeboys and homegirls are big mad. I called her what she is, ghetto. But you're extreme. You're actually ghetto. You're actually more ghetto than anything. Okay. You're actually the ghetto one here. Okay. In so many ways. She says, I guess I finna watch my back. God forbid Shaniqua pops a cap in my ass. You feels me? It's really awkward. It's like the obsession that you have over Jasmine kills me softly, because I really think deep down inside you wish you had some level of education like she does. And that you really, I do think the way you obsess over her, you may wish that you were her. Okay? I think you wish that you about was her. Just a little bit. It's just really awkward. It's really, really weird. And I can't stand it. She always get on social media though. This Laura Loomer, this Laura Loser person. And she says the most outlandish, weirdest things. And I just don't see how people follow her. But hey, a lot of these folks have tons of followers. They'll follow these people off a damn cliff and into a damn volcano. So we'll just let y'all do what y'all gonna do, honey. Now, what I love though, the real reason I'm bringing this up, because my favorite part of this entire debacle for me is Suzanne Lambert. Okay, this is my favorite part of the entire debacle. Is my girl right here. And I'm just gonna let her go ahead and get into it.
Hey, could someone please get this to Laura Loomer? I don't have Twitter or the desire to visit her at Halloween Horror Nights. Hi, Laura. Now, when I first saw you saying terrible, terrible things about Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, my first thought was, now I know Mrs. Two Asses is not talking shit. Do you remember this day? You ran into me and my friends on the Hill and you kept giving me really dirty looks. Meanwhile, I just could not stop marveling at the fact that your 2014 pixie pants somehow gave you a top butt, a bottom butt, and yet no butt at all. I would say,
baby, Miss Two Asses is crazy.
It's a scientific miracle if y'all believed in science. And before I really get into it, let me also just point out, you love calling Jasmine Crockett ghetto, right? DEI this, Shanika that, and yet you would never call me ghetto, which I find interesting, right? Because Jasmine and I, sure, we both talk a lot of shit, and we both say things in ways that people are maybe not used to hearing. But unlike Jasmine, I don't have a law degree, didn't even get into law school. In fact, I have never been a member of Congress that was elected by my constituents. So really, in all senses of the word and the world, Jasmine is a way more impressive and esteemed individual than me. But you would never call me ghetto because also, unlike Jasmine, I am white. And you only call her that because she is Black, which is racist. And I know you don't give a shit. So this is me not giving a shit. Do you talk about the ghetto so much because that's where you get all your injectables? Because my God, I'd heard of back alley abortions. I didn't know they were also doing back alley Botox. Shit. Laura, listen to me. Put the Juva down.
Put the Juva down. Baby, it's the before and after for me. And this is the very reason why I said this BITCH wants to be Jasmine so bad. This woman changed everything about herself to make it darker. Her complexion, her hair, her eyebrows, even her damn lipstick is a bit darker. She looked like she went and got them cheeks filled up more and even got them lips done just a bit. So it's really giving you're obsessing over Jasmine because you wish that you can be her for some reason. You don't have the intellect to really go toe to toe with Jasmine for real, for real. That's why you resort to saying the bullshit that you do say. Okay? But I have been getting a kick out of Miss Ma'am coming down to the TikTok to read the dog out your. It's okay? Girl, put the Juva down, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay? Give the Restylane a rest. Disport is not, in fact, a competitive sport of seeing who can put the most units in their face. I see why you may have been confused. And look, girl, I get it. I also love injectables, Botox, fillers, vaccines. Y'all always forget that one. But you can do that without looking so embalmed. And also, your jokes just aren't funny. They're really played out and trite. I imagine they hit really well with men who still buy Hooters swim calendars and like no one else. Jasmine is a brilliant, competent elected official with biting wit and intellect, and you just look like you bite people. Okay, so maybe sit this one out. Hey, could someone...
Baby, I'm like, girl, y'all better get on here and tag this bitch. Y'all better get on here and tag the hell out this woman. Okay? I just needed to share that because I felt like she ate her little homegirl up. And they talking about Miss Ma'am about 32, 33. Girl, I'm so tired of hearing 32 and 33-year-old ages. I am so tired of hearing people saying, I'm 33, I'm 32, I'm 30, I'm 31. And you just is giving 40, 41, 42, 43. And I really actually feel like that's disrespect to the 40 and 45-year-olds. So forgive me because y'all looking younger than a lot of these 30-some-year-olds, really, okay? All I'm saying is they look very much so aged more than what they really should be. Okay? So lay off for whatever it is that y'all using, okay? Good luck with that. All right. Get it together. But this ain't gonna be the first time somebody hop over there into the ass of Laura Loser because this is what she enjoys this type of stuff, right? She enjoys this type of activity until somebody really want to get in at it. It's okay. Now, next thing I want to talk about, final thing I want to talk about, I want to touch on Cardi B. All right. And this Stefan Diggs situation. Okay. Enjoying Cardi B's album. She's done a great job. One thing about Cardi B that I like is really her personality, and more than anything, I just like her come up. I enjoy come up stories from where a person started, like how I started versus how it's ending or where I'm at now. Love those type of perseverance type of stories. Okay. Enjoying the album. Album has been great. Y'all know she took a shot at JT not too long ago. And JT and a shot at Uzi or whatever. JT fired back with the allegations about Chris Blake Griffin putting things out there about Stefan Diggs. And I know I talked about this the other day, and I was like, I wasn't sure if he put out a police statement or not. And come to find out, he did file a police report 1.5 years after the incident took place. Okay, so I do believe he was within the statute of limitations for him to file a report. And in that report, he does mention that he got a wet willy, which is the guy licking his ear or whatnot. He talks about how, which was interesting because some of the stuff that you see in that clip that he mentions when he's sitting down in the interview talking, in comparison to what's in the police report, it's interesting. I could see where if I was an attorney, which I'm far from that, and I'm not. Okay, look. Girl, as far as I've gone is watching some court shows, honey, in real life court, okay? There are questions that will be asked, okay? Don't know if this happened to him, not sure if it happened. What I will say is that the story that he told back in 2024, I don't think it's changed a lot since 2025, but there are some things that are not making sense. One thing that he does mention in the interview versus the police report was that they are used to swapping out candy, right? So I'm alluding at this point, I don't think candy is really candy anymore. At this point, I'm believing that candy is actually drugs, okay? So it's sounding like to me, as he told in that interview, oh, this is something we're used to doing. So if we got some Skittles versus some whatever type of candy, we'll swap them out. So I feel like, to me, he was very aware, in my personal opinion, of what that quote unquote candy was, because he's been around enough to see what's happening. So when he's like, hey, can I get some? Let me get some of that candy because I'm getting hungry, supposedly. He takes the candy and it gives him a different feeling. I personally think, in my personal, that he was aware of what it was that he was taking and he chose to take it, right? And it ended up giving him a feeling that he, I guess, was not expecting that type of feeling. Maybe he was expecting a different type of feeling. And for him, he felt like he was about to be taken advantage of, right? Because that's when Stefan allegedly licked him in his ear, wanted him to come upstairs, hang out. He says he went to the bathroom to wash his face because he felt like his eyes were so big he could barely see or whatever, trying to try to rinse his face and try to come back to, because he's feeling himself a little off. He says he opens the door. He's approached by a male and a woman, where they're trying to say, hey, what you gonna say when you leave? Oh, okay. Well then, and they make him strip naked or whatever. Then he's dropped off at the airport and all of this stuff. So he has some things in there that, if it were to go to trial and an attorney knew how to dig, the attorney gonna be digging, okay? And some stuff don't really sound right, but at the same time, I can't say it didn't happen because I was not there. All right. What we can confirm is that he said it happened, and he also put a police report out there. Okay. So he talks about that. He talks about his jewelry being taken. He alleges that it was an attempt to unalive him. Right. I do question that. Was it a true attempt to unalive you, or was it just an attempt to probably rob you? Either way, I do feel like it should not have happened. Okay. Right. And he said he wasn't gonna say nothing about the incident, but the reason that he's saying something about the incident is because he feels like they were trying to muddy his name in the industry. So if you're gonna muddy my name in the industry, I'm gonna come and muddy your name completely and let everybody know about your ass. Okay. So that is what he has done. Okay. Granted, whatever happened between him and Stefan, I don't know, but this is what Chris is reporting. All right. What I will say is this is a situation between Chris and Stefan that they have got to go and they got to figure out. All right. I don't know how far it's going to go because the case was filed about almost a year ago. So I don't know if there are any charges or anything that's going to be taken against him. I don't know if this was just like a report that I just want to get this on record, or if I actually want to press charges and y'all figure out what those charges are. I don't know where they are in the investigation at this time. Or what, but that's something he still has to figure out. With Cardi, unfortunately, because of this situation being out there, this will always continue to be an attack for you, whether it's true or whether it's not. Okay, it has been reported, but has yet to be confirmed whether it's actually true, whether it actually happened or not. I feel like one of the incidents we can confirm happened was that he was jumped. Okay, I think that was true. I think there was some video of him actually being jumped, but anything else, not necessarily sure. However, whether it's true or not, you are now connected to this, and not connected to the incident, but more so connected because you're dating Stefan. You're about to have a child by him. So people will continue to attack you from that angle. And I just feel like, stop sticking your neck out for these men. I feel like that's where you went wrong with Offset, sticking your neck out, having some stuff to say to defend him on this and that, You caught a case over here, got that going on. Stop this. Okay, and that was your actual husband that had you going through stuff like that, right? I damn sure don't think you should be doing it for no boyfriend, all right? Let alone another husband. Really, I feel like if this their isolated situation, let it be that. If Stefan's not talking about it, then why the hell is you talking about it? Because honestly, in my personal, you speaking on something and you may not have all of the facts and you may feel like he's lying, and let's say this guy isn't lying, right? And you're speaking on it, they may try and pull you into the courtroom about the shit that you know. And I just feel like, who wants those issues, okay? I just feel like, let Stefan handle his own legal matters, because I'm damn sure he gonna have you handling your own legal matters too. Okay, that's the biggest thing. Another thing the guy did say, though, when in that police report, he kind of mentions that he feels like Stefan runs some type of sex ring or something, and that definitely made my eyebrow perk up. Like, girl, what? Not a sex ring? I'm like, what is this? He said that the young lady that I guess helps him out, named Lindsay, it's giving very Ghislaine Maxwell, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Okay, I feel like that's crazy. I feel like that's very alarming, because that I just think that's not something I would want to be connected to. I just don't think that's not. Now, I don't know, again, if it's true or if it's false, right? It could be something that's being exaggerated where really it's just people hanging out, having a good time, but then it also could be on some Diddy type shit, right? We don't know, but I just feel like after coming off of this entire Diddy scandal and situations and stuff, it's just kind of like, I really want to be connected to that. So because you are, and that's always going to be a hit because that is your baby daddy, I personally think that let him address all of that stuff. You don't have to address that because you aren't really involved in that. You know what I'm saying? Also, because it hasn't been proven in a court of law yet, and he hasn't been charged as of yet, right? But even then, it's still his situation. Like when you were getting sued for that frivolous lawsuit, he didn't come out and talk about it or address anything that had something to do with you. And I just really want her to follow in those same footsteps where if it ain't about the music, like, I'm not addressing that with you. And I hate that she's at this place where she feels like us general public deserve to know so much of her life. Like, I just feel like that ain't none of people's business. That's why I say I would have never told nobody that I was even pregnant. Like, it's none of your business. Like, yeah, allude to it. You think you know, you may be right, but you just would find out when I post pictures of my baby's toes. Okay, y'all will find out after the fact type of thing. At least being at her status of celebrity, right? But it is what it is now, and I just wanted to bring that back because this was an update that I did learn about, and I did, of course, talk about the situation at hand. And a lot of people, you know, it's just it's mixed feelings about this. It's mixed feelings about Chris Griffith accusing Stefan Diggs, and some people are believing it and feeling like this is crazy, and then some people are feeling like he's a liar. But y'all leave y'all comments and thoughts down below on how you're feeling about the situation. I honestly don't know what to feel about the situation when it comes to them two. I just think that Cardi should not go down on some I'ma defend when I wasn't there and I don't know what all really fucking happened for real. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my personal on that. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. I'm JamiThatsMe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, honey. Bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can fill a pool, we gon' make them swim, nigga.